And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, Chinch. What's up, brother? On a nice little Wednesday.
Nice little Wednesday hump day, but not for you. Look at you back in the saddle. You did the whole wall and the background's all set up again, huh?
Looking good, bro. The mayor's office is officially back, so I'm fired up about that.
Nice. And finally, dude, you probably had less sleep in the last 2 days than you have in like the last 6 years. Like, is your ring and all that stuff, all your coding is all screwed up for
Dude, oh my Aura ring's pissed at me. Pissed. I'm in sleep debt right now. It is true, man. You fly on the West Coast. I got there Saturday night late. I got in like 10:45 Saturday night into Seattle. Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Flew home yesterday from Seattle at 7 a.m. Get back today and woo, here we go, baby. Here we go. So I definitely tonight I got to get to bed like at 7 to get my sleep back in order, you know?
Yeah. By the way, I love that new color on the wall. What is that like? It's like
Yeah.
a dark, deep blue.
Yeah, it's like
charcoal-y.
it looks charcoal. It's like I think it's like a dark blue, but now that I'm looking at it like this, it looks charcoal. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Different times of day, it's gonna look different. That's
Oh
fine.
my God.
Looking good though, man. Hey, so listen, we're gonna get to the World Series, obviously, but dude, you've got a lot going on, man. And I know we're buddies and all, but I'm a Yankees fan. And people around town, especially some of the guys we know who do it for a living, have just been peppering everything. Like, what's Sean Casey doing? What's his plan? So here you go, man. What do you got?
You talk about something bouncing around my head for a long time. I think Booney and I had talked about coming back next year and what that would look like, and really before any offer could be exchanged between both of us. I just told him that I'm not going to be able to come back next year just because I got my two daughters at home. My daughter Jillian's 13, my daughter Carly's 17, and I think also too, getting divorced a few years ago, I had those girls 50% of the time. So I just can't imagine being away for 8 months, in New York while they're here in Pittsburgh. So, for me, I just, decided to kind of get back to what I was doing before I joined the Yankees. But I'll tell you what, Chinch, for me, man, that whole experience was one of the best experiences of my life. Like being able to wear the pinstripes was actually a dream come true. Brian Cashman was incredible. That whole coaching staff was great. The organization, Hal Steinbrenner, everybody I came across, having a chance to, nothing like having a chance to walk out the Yankee Stadium every night, be your office to the best fans in baseball. I mean, they are literally every night ready to go. The roll call was as advertised, to be there every night and watch the roll call every day from the bleachers was so cool. It was just an amazing experience, dude. I have no all pros, no cons, you know what I mean? And I must admit, when I first took the job and was there for, when I first took the job, knowing that it was going to be for the second half of the year and then reevaluate, I must admit, like thinking about doing it as a career, started to come into my mind because I just really enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed the players so much. I enjoyed, I always say this, when the best player in the world is also the best person in your clubhouse, things get easy for the coaching staff. Things are a lot easier for everybody in the organization. So, to be around Aaron Judge every day and, just such an unbelievable guy. And then a lot of the, DJ LeMahieu and Volpe and the young kids and Peraza and Pereira, these guys that came up, and Cabrera and, going down the list of I just really enjoyed myself, man. Austin Wells is going to be an absolute star. Dominguez coming up. There's just so many good players. Gleyber Torres was a great guy. So doing those hitters meetings every day with Brad Wilkerson and Brett Weber and Tyler and all those guys, it was it was just a lot of fun, man. I just enjoyed my time, and I must admit, it was a tough decision for me, and like I said, there was no offer made, but I do think I could have come back had I wanted to. And, that time right now is not perfect for me. And, we'll see what happens in the next few years here.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the guys. It's so cool. You got like vets like Rizzo, who you've been covering for the past bunch of years.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like Anthony Volpe, who basically actually could be your son. He's one of
Yeah, no, he's 22 years old. He actually could be my son. Yeah, and Riz too, man. Riz and I have been buddies for a long, long time. So I know he was banged up when I was there, but Riz and I, had a lot of time in the dugout together, hanging out during the games and stuff. So. Just grateful for our time there too. But yeah, it's funny, all the way from Riz, who's a wily vet, to Volpe, who's 22 years old. And yeah, but a lot of those kids could be my son. I have a 22-year-old son. Matter of fact, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Andrew. It's Andrew's 25th birthday, 22nd birthday today, October 25th. Let's go. So
right.
Happy birthday, Bubs. You're not listening to this podcast, but everyone else is. So
nice. Well, I got to ask you one more question, dude. Did the itch get scratched to a point where one day we may see Sean Casey in a uniform again, either coaching or maybe even managing or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, you know what, man? I loved it. I did love it. I think I could see myself getting back in the dugout one day, no doubt about it. And, being next to Booney, who's one of my dear friends, watching him manage, with Carlos Mendoza as his bench coach, who I think is one of the best in the industry. I think, he'll be a manager here one day, no doubt about it. But, just all those guys, that whole staff, top to bottom, was incredible. Travis Chapman and Louis Rojas and Matt Blake and Mike Harkey and, just there's so many good guys, Tanner Swanson and, Desi, just, up top to bottom, being with those guys was pretty awesome. And it definitely made me think about, getting back in the game. I think I will eventually get back in the game again. Being in the dugout, there's nothing like being in the dugout, man. Nothing like being in the battle with those guys. Nothing like being in the arena, trying to win a big league ball game, which isn't easy, And down the stretch, I think we were the best team in baseball in September. We were, I feel like we were making a run, but kind of ran out of time. But they're going to be great, man. They're going to make some moves this offseason, no doubt about it. I'm sure Cash's wheels are spinning right now. And they're going to be back right where they want to be. We're going to see Garrett Cole. Hopefully he's going to win the Cy Young here soon. So, that pitching staff is going to be really good. And when they come back next year, you get a 162, hopefully a Judgy and those boys, and Stanton will come back and have a nice year too. And it was great getting to know G too. There's just so many guys, good guys in that clubhouse, man. And I am beyond grateful to have had these last few months with those guys in that organization. And it was more than I expected. You think about it, and when you get in there, you're like, it blew away my expectations. First class organization, do everything they do is first class, top notch, and they'll be back next season, 2024. You can book that.
Nice, man. Well, I speak for all your friends who saw you kind of pray over this and take this gig, and we were so proud of you, and we still are so proud of you. And I think I speak for the fans of New York as like a thank you, dude. You got in there and you kind of brought back a style of baseball that this town needed a little bit, I think, over the years. And it couldn't have been any cooler watching my friends sitting on a dugout, that first Stanton home run with the fist pump on your first night. So congrats, man.
Yeah.
I love you for it.
Dude, thanks, Chase. I think one of the coolest things about the job too was being able to like connect with, friends that are maybe Yankee fans, family. I have a lot of family, tons of family in New York, dude. My whole family's from Long Island, New York. So tons of family still in Jersey and New York, and they would come out, and some of my cousins and friends, wherever you would go. So you forget about that. You forget about leaving tickets for people, getting them maybe some passes. Shout out to Mark Kafalis out there, and Eddie, who was running security. Every day I'd get passes. I'm like, hey, Mark, any chance to get 5 passes again? I'm like, oh boy, So I was like the pass guy, always leaving passes. It was ridiculous.
You probably spent more money on tickets than you did when making money as a Yankees.
I did. I no doubt. No. Thank goodness for Venmo, because I was charging people this time. I was like, listen, when I was playing, I was making millions. Now I'm not. I was like, here's my Venmo.
That's great. That was so good. So good. All right.
One more thing. Shout out to Rob Kakuza too, who runs the clubhouse there and all the boys and Felix and Wilton who run it. Man, they made the greatest food in the world, dude.
Really?
Like 3 square meals a day. I was like, you want the best food in New York? Go to the Yankees clubhouse. You know what I mean? It's incredible. So all those guys were unbelievable. So I want to shout them out too, because that any big league team is run by that clubhouse staff, and Rob Kukuza, nobody better in the business about the clubhouse that he runs with that staff, and they were incredible too. So I had maybe I ate a little too much and maybe had a little bit too much coffee, but that's part of the business.
That's part of the business. That's actually is a perfect segue, because one of the D-backs players last night in his post-game interview thanked literally everybody that you thank, saying that there's no such thing as a franchise without everybody who walks into that building and touches that building, all the way down to the scouts and everybody else. I'm sure you get to meet scouts and stuff when you were Yankees, but
yeah,
hey,
it's the truth.
We saw a team last night who really put it together. They didn't have too many wins during the regular season, but this D-backs team can play with anybody, and they have a serious chip on their shoulder, dude. Don't you think?
Oh, dude, yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. I mean, listen, for the D-backs, congratulations to Torey Lovello and Mike Hazen and Jeff Bannister and those guys on that staff. Like I said, we played against them at the end of the year. I was with the Yankees, and that's a good team, man. And what really showed up was what Mike Hazen did at the deadline to go get that bullpen. I mean, that bullpen ended up being lights out, and they ended up being a plus for them. And I think coming up to that point, their bullpen was really was kind of their Achilles heel. And then in the postseason here, it's turned out to be their strength, which I feel like that's always what we're talking about. The teams that run the gauntlet here in this tournament have strong bullpens, and shout out to Mike Hazen for making the trades that he did to get the guys that he has in that pen that have really Seawald at the back end there, closing games out, Ginkle, all those guys, man, have really come in and done a great job. But can you believe, Chinch, that we're saying here that the Diamondbacks and the Rangers are in the World Series, and that the Diamondbacks, after going down 2-0 to the Phillies, would go back to the bank down 3-2 and steal Game 6 and Game 7 and show how good of a team they really are.
Yeah, you talk about grit all the time. That's grit right there. That's gritty grit. Hey, did you know this? You might not have seen this because you were traveling. So a couple days ago, Mad Dog Chris Russo on his Sirius show said if the D-backs win the NLCS, he's retiring. That's how anti he was. So this was like before Game 6, and he's like, I can't believe they're winning games, whatever. How about this? If they win this series, I'm retiring. I'm retiring that day. So we will find out with bated breath today if Mad Dog is retired from his career in journalism. Got to tune into the Mad Dog today. That's a big statement by the Mad Dog. But I tell you what, Torey Lovello said after the game, and he said it all along, a team that's connected is dangerous. I love that. A team that's connected is dangerous, and they are connected. You could see it after they won that wild card round, how fired up they were. And, they had to limp in to get in. I mean, they were really kind of like those last couple of days. That's why, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But once you get in, it's anyone's, anyone can win it. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of haters, obviously you're going to get haters in any sporting event, especially with the way Twitter or X is these days. A lot of people saying, this playoff format stinks, that a team with that few regular season wins could go to the World Series. I'm like, what? Isn't that a good thing? Don't you want to be able to get into the tournament and win it? That's the thing that kind of irked me a little bit about.
Dude, I look back to when I was in the World Series when we lost to the Cardinals. They had 83 wins that year, dude. 83 wins.
Yes.
And they got in, they limped in, but they won the World Series. Yeah. They got hot at the right time. Everyone was clicking. You go back to the last couple of days. I mean, just in that lineup, I mean, Corbin, the stars come out. We talked about it. Corbin Carroll and Marte come out big in Game 7, last night. And, Brandon Pfaadt.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, had another great start for those guys. Merrill Kelly in Game 6. I mean, they did everything they could. Pitching, defense, they stole 4 bases again last night, 4 in Game 6. Torey Lovello makes his guys put pressure on you night in and night out. So shout out to Torey and Hazen and those guys there that, are buddies of mine, back in our Cleveland days. And, those guys are as good as they come, man.
Yeah, but one other thing, I was talking to a bunch of my guys I work with who are on the West Coast. Like a lot of people on the left side of the country know who Ketel Marte is and how good of a baseball player he is. I think the world is seeing it now. By the way, 16 postseason games in his career. He's got a 16-game postseason hitting streak. That's unbelievable. But he got the MVP last night. Props to him. I got a question for you. So now, you've been fully inside the game. Your either team right now, what are you doing? Like, are you doing like hitter charts? Because they don't start till Friday, so today's Wednesday. So you have like tonight, tomorrow. What do you do? Are you coming up with like a game plan and then having a hitters meeting?
Well, the biggest thing about this is what's great about this industry is the advanced scouts that are they were at all the Rangers Houston series. So I mean, the numbers you can bring up now for a game plan for each of these guys, they already have the game plan ready. They're locked and loaded. They already know tendencies of guys. They already know the heat map of where these guys' strengths and weaknesses are. They know, what pitch to throw them with runners in scoring position. They know what pitches they're going to try and throw a guy, where if he doesn't like the ball in on his hands, if he's a chase guy with soft stuff away, these guys, it's mapped out already. They both, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, their advanced scouts and their analytics guys already have a game plan right now. Wow. If they met right now, they're going to sit down in that hitters meeting and then that pitchers meeting. They're going to go through those hitters. They're going to go through those pitchers, and they're going to map out exactly how to attack. And it's at the end of the day, it's going to be whoever executes that plan the best is going to win this whole thing.
Yeah, funny enough, man, about a week and a half ago, we were talking about what if somebody sweeps, which again, the Astros fans were not happy that I said that. But then you look at it now, last night, D-backs celebrate all late into the night. You got to wake up tomorrow, drink a lot of water today, and be ready to go on Friday.
You do. You got to be ready to go, dude. You got to just, you celebrate, no doubt. You got to celebrate. Mm-hmm. Even in life, anytime we do something good, you got to celebrate it, even daily. Yeah. And for those guys to sit back, celebrate, but know that there's business to take care of. I'm sure nobody's, I've been there before where you win the AL championship and then you get to the World Series. That's the one you really want to win. That's the one you want to win. As exciting as this is, the opportunities don't come along often. So when you get to the big dance, the World Series, man, you want nothing more than to win that whole thing.
Yeah, I think, what would be good for us tomorrow, especially with everything you know about this from experience and from your kind of like life coaching, is maybe tomorrow we talk about the mental preparation getting into a World Series, how you can't be too high, right? You can't be too amped up, can't swing baseball bat like this. Yeah. And then, just kind of mentally preparing, visualizing getting to the World Series. As somebody, by the way, who has done it, guys, and hit 500 in the World Series. 526 or something like that.
529.
Sorry. All right, man. Hey, one last thing I didn't ask you about. You're going back to MLB Network?
Yeah. I've already been back to the network, dude. I was back. Our last game was in Kansas City that night. I did MLB Central with D-Row and Shahadi and Roflo on Monday morning. So I've already been there a week. I'm going back, not next week, but the week after. So yeah, man, listen, that also factor into it too, because I have a really good job at MLB Network and I just love the guys there and love, it gives me my fix of baseball because I do love this game so much. So right now MLB Network has just been, I've been there 15 years, which is incredible. And I'm just looking forward to still covering the game and covering the game I love. And I'm fired up for that too.
There you go. You still going to the mayor's office with me?
Yeah, dude, you kidding me? Let's go, bro. It was too much time off. We took 2.5 months, 3 months off.
So good. All right, man. Well, here we go.
All right, Chinchy.
After tomorrow, we're going to go into the mental side of the game, and then Friday, we're going to preview the crap out of the World Series.
Yeah, awesome, dude. I can't wait. And listen, I know people think Texas Rangers and the Diamondbacks, oh, man, this isn't the game we want. I'm sure national television didn't want it, but these are two really good teams. It's exciting baseball, a lot of good young talent in these games, too. I think it's going to be really fun. So if you're a baseball fan, tune into these games because it's going to be good. It's going to be a good one. All right, Chinchy. Love you, brother. Tons, man. Everyone out there listening, thanks for listening. Have an unbelievable day, and we will see you in the mayor's office tomorrow.